Good morning, Phoenix class, and welcome to today's maths lesson. This is our second lesson on finding the area of triangles. So remember what we've learnt so far. We've learnt that two right-angled triangles fit inside a rectangle. We're going to be coming back to that today. We know that we can count parts of triangles, squares, so that we can estimate the area. We look for whole squares, almost whole squares, and half squares. We also learnt that we can cut the triangle up so that we make a rectangle. We can either cut off the top and then cut that top bit in two so that it fits in the missing gaps to make the rectangle, or if it's an isosceles triangle, we can cut it straight down the middle and then turn that other bit over and therefore makes a rectangle. So today's first problem. Ibo has cut a rectangle in half. What do you notice about the area of the rectangle and the area of the triangles? So if you can, get a piece of paper and draw yourself a rectangle. And then I want you to think about how you can cut that into two. So you have two triangles. So here's my piece of paper. And I know I can cut it like that, and I'm going to create two triangles that are absolutely identical because I have cut the paper in half. Let's have a look at that again. So there's our piece of paper. I've cut it in half, and I have two identical right-angled triangles. We could lay those over the top of each other so that we can see that they are exactly the same. So what is the area of Rena's triangle? We know that that triangle is half of a rectangle. So there is my badly drawn rectangle. I didn't use a ruler. I hope you have done at home. Now, I know how to work out the area of a rectangle. I know that if I times the length by the width, that would give me the whole area. So I could do 8 times 5, which would tell me the area of the rectangle is 40. But I'm not looking for the area of the rectangle, am I? What am I looking for? I'm looking for the area of the triangle. And remember, the triangle is half of the rectangle. So what could we divide by to find half of 40? Of course, we're going to divide by 2, which will give us the area of the triangle as 20 centimetres squared. Let's just go through that once more. Okay, so we know we can turn Rena's triangle into a rectangle, and two identical triangles make up that rectangle. We know that one side is 8 centimetres and the other side is 5 centimetres. So if I times those together, that gives me 40 centimetres squared, but that is for the whole rectangle. Now, as you can see here, our rectangle can be split into two equal triangles. So all I need to do then is divide my 40 centimetres squared, my area of my rectangle, by 2, which is 20 centimetres squared. And I do that because the right-angled triangle is half the size of the rectangle. So let's have a look at this one. We're being asked to calculate the area of each rectangle and each shaded triangle. So on A, rectangle, as you can see, is 3 centimetres by 6 centimetres. So first of all, let's find the area of the rectangle. We can say that 3 times 6 is going to give us 18. But remember, we only want the area of the triangle, and the triangle is half the area of the rectangle. What's that area of our rectangle? Our area of our rectangle was 18 centimetres squared. If we divide that by 2, we're going to find the area of half, which is the triangle. If we look at B, again, it's a square this time, but a square is just a special type of rectangle. It's just a regular quadrilateral. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to times the width by the length. So in this case, that is going to be 2 times 2. That will give us the area of the whole square. But we already know that a triangle is half of the whole square or rectangle. So therefore, we're going to divide that answer by 2. In our last one, our coloured in triangle is the other way, but that really doesn't make any difference. First of all, how are we going to find the area of the rectangle? We're going to find it by doing 11 times 4. But we don't want the whole rectangle, we only want half of it because we're looking for the triangle. So therefore, we're going to divide it by 2. In this one, we are going to do the same thing. Doesn't matter that the one in A is a square, we do it in the same way. Length times the height divided by 2. 4 times 4 divided by 2. B is exactly the same. Just be a bit careful with your decimal point there. Remember, in a multiplication, if there's 1 digit after the decimal point in the question, there's 1 digit after the decimal point in the answer. Same goes for C. Watch where you're putting that decimal point. Now with D is exactly the same. The only thing is, the triangle is the other way up. So just think about which one is your right angle. Your right angle is there. So again, you're using those 2 numbers that you've been given to multiply together. 5.5 times 8. Okay, into your practice book. So find the area of each shaded right-angled triangle. So it's the one side times the other side divided by 2. Again in D, just be a little bit careful where your right angle is. Okay, don't get confused with what is the base of the triangle. In number 2, Lexi thinks that the 2 triangles below have the same area. Explain why she is wrong. So you're going to need to find the area of A, and then you're going to need to find the area of B. Again, be careful with which numbers you are multiplying together before you divide by 2. Yeah, you're right. It's the 3 and the 4. The 3 is the base, the 4 is the height, or the other way round. Question 3. Again, you are looking at the triangles. You are going to need to find the area of each one before you can say which is the biggest. And then finally, work out the area of the shaded triangle. Well, we've got several steps to this. First of all, you're going to have to find out the area of the whole triangle. That's the whole big shape. So we can see that that is 12 across with a height of 8. So we times those together and we divide by 2. Then you're going to want to find the area of the smaller triangle, the white one. So that's going to be 5 times 8 divided by 2. Now, what it's asking you is to find the area of the shaded triangle. So therefore, you want to do the whole triangle, take away the small triangle, and that is going to give you your answer. If you feel you need more practice, you've got those questions there. It's really good seeing so many of you doing the challenges, so there's more of those there. And then finally, Last thing you should do is complete the task by doing your reflection. Explain how you can use the area of a triangle to find the area of a right-angled triangle. Sorry, the area of a rectangle to find the area of a right-angled triangle. That's what you've been doing all lesson, so I'm looking forward to seeing some really good reflections there as well. Have fun today. Bye.